Start. Good morning, everybody. It is the 29th of May. I mean, we're already in June. On Monday is June. I mean, it's half the year gone already. Hopefully, you've all got all your targets attaining your targets. So the slaughterhouse of failure is absolutely not in our destiny. We shall persevere until we succeed. It's Ogmandino. We do not want failures. We just not even going to entertain that. But it can be, the slaughterhouse of failure can be in my destiny if I quit. It's the only reason we can fail is if we quit. So today I wanted to talk a little bit about, first of all, on these calls, on these mindset calls, as in everything, if we hear something from somebody else, it might be more meaningful. Or, we always talk about doing three ways and so on. Why do we do that? Because if we hear something from somebody else, even though we've said the same thing, it might mean something different. For that reason, I'm going to, with your permission, I'm going to play every Friday a little clip from some people that I think just a minute clip or 2 minute clip from somebody that I think is relevant and that would help us. So the first one I want to do today, because we're still on the atomic mindset, but the first one I want to talk about right now is this one. So bear with me. It'll just be a sec. Here we go. And we'll go into this and share screen and share screen. Can you see my screen? Anybody? Yes?
Yes, it's coming up. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep,
All right.
we can
Yes,
see
I
it.
see it. I see
Okay,
it.
so hear this one now. Listen to this. This is a couple of seconds.
To get good at sales, you must learn to love now. A lot of people are terrible at sales because they would rather have a forever maybe than a right now no. For me, my motto is tell me yes or tell me no, but tell me now I gotta go. SW, 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 N. Some will, some won't. So what? Someone's waiting. Next. People think that the job of the salesperson is to turn a no into a yes. But if you want to get good at selling, sift and sort. The fastest way to get to a yes is go through a bunch of no's. If you're going to get good at sales, you must.
Okay. Did everybody get that? Was it too fast? We got that. Okay. That's one. And the next one I would like to show you for a second is this. The next one I would like to show you is this. If you can still see my screen, bear with me. There we go. Can you still see my screen? Or let me go.
No, just you so far.
Okay, here we go. Coming up, share screen. And we're going into. Can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. There's a guy who owns 370 jets, 370 jets. Okay, what's this?
And what is your company? It's a FlexJet. We do fractional ownership of about 370 planes and about 5,000 employees worldwide. How old were you when you became a billionaire? 7, 8 years ago. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of a nebulous. It's not like a line in this. There's not a line of demarcation.
Among yourself and the most highly successful people you know, your network of billionaire friends, what do they all have in common?
Passion for sure. But I would also say many of my very successful friends are fanatical about detail, fanatical attention to detail, right? Just paying attention, knowing the little things that make a big move.
What was your turning point to financial freedom? Was there a moment early on in your life that told you I wanted to kind of go out there and create it?
Do you know when you're rich? When you have 25 times your annual spend. So if you live on $1,000 a year, you're rich at 25,000. People say, well, I want 10 million, I want 12 million. That's the wrong idea. The right idea is how much does it take for you to live the life you want to live? And some people, it's $100,000. Some people it's $10 million. Well, if it takes you 10 million to enjoy your lifestyle, then you need $250 million. So it's more of a function of how you live and not a function of what you have.
You have a very interesting philosophy on wealth in terms of your being open about it with your family, which is maybe controversial to some people. Can you explain that philosophy for my viewers?
Sure. I mean, number one is that I often say when kids are growing up, we've been taught to talk about sex and not money. But the analogy is the answer is money is much more important. Making sure your kids know how to be stewards of what they have. And the other thing is, if you talk about trust, right? You talk about good advice. One of the most interesting pieces of advice I got was from President Clinton. I was his pilot for a year and a half when he was running for president. And he used to start a conversation. He would say something like, I don't know you very well, but I sleep way too long. And he would say to me, when you meet someone, if you start a conversation by displaying one of your faults, you're telling people you trust them. So if I tell you I ate too many French fries, right? I didn't have to tell you that, but you say Ken trusted me and he mentioned that to me. So now when you go to your kids and you want to create trust with them, you have to tell them secrets. You have to open up yourself. If you're going to create trust with your children, they have to know the secrets. So financial is one of the huge secrets.
How old are you now?
69.
My last 69.
Oh, stop.
My last question for you, Ken, if me and you died tomorrow and you had one more message to leave with the younger generation, what would that be?
The key to success is empathy. Think about others. Think about your employees. Think about your family. Get up every day being empathetic and sympathetic for those around you.
People remember how you make them feel.
Exactly. They don't remember your name, but they remember how they felt.
Thank you so much for your time.
It's a pleasure. Thank you for what you're doing.
Okay. So there are a couple of messages in there. And one of them is to be vulnerable and to obviously have empathy, but to be vulnerable. I think that's one of the big ones. We always, we're always trying to, we look at everybody like we're made of stone. We're not. So again, based on our little anatomy, based on our atomic habits, here we go. Based on our atomic habits, there's several more things that I will talk about this, but however, the point is the following. There's a couple of quotes that come on that are from that atomic habits that I think are very relevant, and I want to go through those a little bit. So the first quote is, you do not rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your systems. This is big stuff. You fall to the level of your systems. What does that mean? Well, it's the compound effect. It's the compound effect in the negative way as well. Don't forget, the compound effect works always. It's a little bit every day, a little bit every minute, a little bit every year, month, eventually compounds. And that's, we hope, positively, but it can also be negatively. So we've got to think about that. So the compound effect negatively is going backwards slowly at a time, one step at a time, you don't even notice. And then suddenly our negative thoughts overcome the positive ones. Like how? Well, they become distractions. For example, we worry about things that haven't happened. We start to imagine things. We're concerned about things outside our reach and anything we can do about them. These are distractions when our mind starts thinking about stuff that is not focused on the task at hand. We're concerned about things outside our reach and nothing we can do about them. We allow the emotional stresses to override our rational thoughts. What if society? What if scenario? What if? What if I do this? What if I happen that? What if this happens? What if that happens? Those are also distractions, and they're negative things, because what we've got to do is the next things that I'm going to talk about, the focus. So all of these serious distractions rob us of our positive enthusiasm and clear thinking. If we're focused, clear thinking, and positive, We don't have time to have doubts. Throw those away. Don't let them come into your mind. The doubts are things that cloud our thinking. So remember, I always talk about our 1,440 minutes in 24 hours. It's 1,440 minutes a day. That's our bank account of minutes. We can't squander that bank account of minutes, even each day. We can't squander that. We've got to stay focused. Can't go off track. So this was about the systems. Our systems have to be like well-oiled machines, running at maximum efficiency. Any deviation will make us lose control. So that was what the first one was. You do not rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems. And that's what we've got to maintain. We've got to remember that. We don't want to fall to the level of our systems. The system has to be very good, and we've got to stick to it. The second one of these actions is every action you take, every action you take is a vote for the type of person you wish to become. So when we look at our goals and we look at our goals, it's what we want to have, of course, but it's how we want to become. So we must be ever conscious of who we want to become, because that's how we will achieve the goals we want. To have what we want, we should first become who we need to be. To have what we want, we should first become who we need to be. What do we need to be? We need to be efficient. We need to be empathetic. We need to be vulnerable. We need to do a lot of stuff. But that's what we've got to be conscious about, because that's what we want to become. In the wheel of life that I call, the main 6 slices of the cake, or the wedges of the cake, the main 6 ones, as I call them, are they all have to work in harmony. It's no use being a millionaire and being spiritually bankrupt. It has to all work together. That's how harmony works. So the finances, the community, health, family, fitness, spirituality, there's 6 of them right there. So too many of us focus only on the material wealth and eclipse other priorities. We become workaholics, maybe, or we focus lopsidedly on something which is going to detract from the harmony of what we have to of the wheel to run smoothly. Eventually, it leads to frustration and contributes to confusion. I could the dissatisfaction results in a wonky wheel. I don't know if that's an American word, but wonky wheel is like the wheel that goes, it doesn't go right. And that's how our lives go like this. They don't go smoothly if we don't distribute our priorities in the correct way. Uh, I'll give you one more and then we can open it up. So success is the product of daily habits, not a once in a lifetime transformation or once in lifetime transformations. This is one of the points from the Atomic Habits. So success can be the fuel to help us enthusiastically embrace new ventures and opportunities.
Hi,
The,
Sarah.
the endorphins elevate our expectations and drive. The success has a physical effect on us too. It works with our endorphins. And elevates our expectations and drive. However, the success has to be a daily occurrence and celebrated constantly. And we may say, but I didn't have any success today. That's a lot of BS. Everything we do, we should celebrate that we've had some success in. I managed to have a smaller helping of food. That's a success. If you're putting on weight.
Holly.
Hold on.
Sorry, I'll.
Okay, I got it. So, however, success should be a daily occurrence and celebrated constantly. So, whatever little success you have, expand that. Feel good about it. The endorphins will work on that. It actually helps you psychologically. So, rather than worry about failures, because whatever you focus on grows. So, whatever the success is, it doesn't matter what it is. Like I say, it could be that you actually went for a walk that you haven't done for a while, or you did a bit of exercise, or you had a smaller size meal. Whatever it is, celebrate the success. And you've got to focus on celebrating every success. When you have a conversation that went well, brand that into yourself. Wow, that was good. So it's got to be a daily stock. That's what we've got to do. And it's the habits are the good or bad are the daily stock which we've got to take. And don't forget, like I just mentioned, that the negative habits are also compounded. So don't go there. Don't go anywhere near that. The number 4 of this was be the danger of your world and not merely be the designer. Be the designer of your world and not merely the consumer of it. Here we go. So the designer of your world, this is on the atomic habits. And I'm saying, have the courage to forge your own destiny and design your own lifestyle. It takes courage not to be a sheep. People are sheeples. A lot of people just follow everybody else. Have the courage to forge your own destiny, your own lifestyle. You're a pilot of your own destiny. You have all the controls. Nobody has the controls you have. You're in the driver's seat. You are, and what you can be to achieve what you want. Nobody else. Visualize before you even start. Visualize what it is that you want. Start your journey with the visualization of where you want to be. Start with the end in mind. We talk about that all the time. Where am I going to be in 5 years' time? Where am I going to be in a year's time? Start with that. Visualize that and work back from there. But it's got to be a visual thing. Don't doubt your capabilities. If you don't succeed, learn from that. Strengthen yourself. Feel stronger because you just had a good lesson. So there are a whole lot more that we can go into next time, but I'd like to open this up if anybody's got any comments about what we've just said, because there's a lot of stuff we've said here. So we talked about we talked about obviously the compound effect, but you fall to the level of your systems. How good is your system? How good are your systems? Any comments on anything, please?
I think your systems are always a work in progress. So the compound effect is great because you're just consistent all the time, but make sure you're consistent. But if something's not working, just kind of tweak it a little bit, right? So like if one of your wheels on your bus is broken, you need to tweak it a little bit, but always do that compound effect. I think that's just and that's what I am practicing every day. Just, doing what I need to do every morning, and every day, and make sure. And if you miss a day, don't beat yourself up. I mean, that's what I tend to do. It's like, oh, darn it, I didn't do that. But anyway, that's my 2 cents worth.
Thank you.
Dee Dee, you took the words out of my mouth. We both think in the same way.
Good. I love that.
Good. Thank you. We're in harmony here.
Yeah, one thing that helps, this is Mark. I've been with you guys in a little while. One thing that helps me uh, in what I do, some of you know Jim in particular, I do home repair, handyman, painting, um, a lot of things in that realm. And it helps me to use sort of an assembly line system to get through projects, and it makes things go very logically. And it helps me when I begin that to look at it and have that vision that you're talking about, even for our whole life, but a vision for the project and how it's going to work. And that's something that a couple of guys taught me about 25 years ago in a very simple way, and it just works fantastically. So I'm learning now with these calls, with some of the books that Jim is having me read, how to begin looking at new skin in those same ways, how I can uh, work it in a more logical way. And then I like really what you said. I've got to read this book. Wow. Um, about the daily successes. I had an experience with that years ago as well. In my first marriage, I had a time where it seemed like a lot of things that I was doing wasn't working. And even though we're split up now, during that time with my first wife, she wrote me just a small list. I mean, of about 7 things on a little piece of paper that I kept in my wallet of things that I did well even then. Uh, and that made, I can't tell you, the mental and emotional difference that made for me, not just in that moment, but I've still got that list tucked away in that same old wallet, although that's been from 35 years ago. Things like that, celebrating those things, y'all, it does make a huge difference to you. It really does.
Fantastic.
Mark, that's a great testimony. It's interesting because you do in your profession, logical processes are important for you. Otherwise,
Hmm.
the day just doesn't go well. It's the same thing for us in this business.
Hmm.
The very same thing. But the other thing you talked about though was none of those processes and systems work unless you start with the right mindset. And
Hmm.
those 7 items of positivity that your former wife wrote for you was the biggest gift she could have given you. It just
Yeah.
gets you into the right mindset.
Yeah. It touches me to this day,
Yeah.
you know.
It's a testimony to your ex-wife.
Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah, I've got 2 of them, and speaking of vulnerability, I can tell everybody a little bit about it. In that first one, that was the longest marriage, didn't have kids, and so I haven't even had the need to speak to her in you know probably 20 years now, a little over 20 years actually.
Yeah.
But you know what? But I give kudos to things like that, because I do try to take even the difficulties in my life and go, well, what did I learn from this? And that makes a huge difference because it really helps you to move ahead and drop off the negative stuff. What was the fighting or what was the whatever? What was the good stuff out of it? And fortunately, in the with the second, although we're divorced, I've got 2 daughters in Argentina, which is where Jim has really inspired me to help get this going down there with them. And so it's really important to me because it can be a great opportunity for them. And
That's
to their mom, I give great kudos because she keeps them healthy and doing their schoolwork. So
That's analogous to our business as well. I mean, nobody has made the next level up and the next level up without having a lot of challenges along the way. And
mhm.
you got to work at it. And it all starts with mindset, I believe.
Well, there's
Yeah.
something important out of this too, and that is when we are on our journey in this business, one of the assets we have are the people with whom we've surrounded ourselves because they are very talented in their own fields. Everybody, you, all of us. And as a team, this is the whole point of having our team calls as well, our so-called Ruby calls, where we can discuss how we're doing. Are we in the right direction? We can have the guidance of our our direction by having somebody else look at it. You know, we talk about a three-way call, and that's why I'm playing these bits of video from other people's perspective, so that we're hearing from other people the same message. Be passionate, be compassionate, have empathy, all of these types of things, and then be focused and so on. And it comes to fruition. It comes to fruition when we are collectively in a group setting where we can all be vulnerable and speak from the heart and have our apprehensions and our trials and tribulations where we can actually work together to go forwards, because nobody has every answer. Nobody.
Mm,
All have Achilles heels, and our Achilles heels, are something that we all go around with. Some of us are bigger Achilles heels and some are smaller. Mine goes from my heel to my gluteus maximus. It's a bloody big Achilles heel. I'm just confessing that. But I'm just saying that we can, it's about it's about the teamwork as well. That's the point I'm trying to make. Martin, you're about to say something.
Yeah, this actually there are a lot of things I really loved in this. Tell me yes, tell me no, tell me quick, I gotta go. For sifting and sorting, that's brilliant. Um, I love this thing. You don't rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems. That is so true because there is a huge disparity between the goals one sets, the aspirations one has, and the reality of the the chewing gum in the cogs, so to speak, that just slow you down. And it again, when you go to the next guy who talked about meticulous attention to detail, the more meticulous the attention to detail, the more it slows you down, the more your systems bog you down. So, this whole question of friction in one's business model to me is something absolutely huge because it's all about the way you use time. And if you don't use your time well, the consequences will not be good for you. So there's a balance, there's a juggling that has to go on between meticulousness and your actual ability to achieve your goals. I'm not sure I know how to balance that.
Well, that's where your leverage comes in, Martin, in my opinion.
I think
I
you're
think
right.
I think it's essential to be very meticulous. And that guy was saying they're very meticulous, and but the way to do that is to have your plan and delegate. Once you're duplicating yourself. If you start something, you set it out right, then you get somebody else to do the same and set it out right. So the foundation is the same and the building is going to be the same. There's not going to be any change. You don't have to be meticulous about everything else in the world. Just start your own journey in a very meticulous, coordinated way and duplicate that.
Yeah, true. And staying focused without distractions is key.
Exactly.
Because there's so many fascinating and interesting things going on in the world, and there are simply not the hours in one's day or one's life to absorb everything that might seem attractive, interesting, desirable. So you have to choose. And that's all about prioritization.
Right. Exactly. What is it you want? Those are the questions we always ask. The questions when we talk to people, what do you want? Oh, okay, tell me.
Yeah.
I want I want $1 million. Good. What you gonna do with it? Oh, well, all right. So we've gone into this before. I'm not going to get into it now, and I'm just saying that's why it's important to know what we want. Because if we know what we want, we're going to know how to get it.
Yeah.
Good morning, Kelly.
Good morning.
Oh, I thought you were going to say something. I'm sorry.
Well, if I may, I wanted to bring up a point, Martin. Not trying to argue with you, but um, from something I was reading just the other day. In fact, it came up in a couple of places from a Bible lesson and also in a rehearsal. In addition to all the other stuff that I do, I'm also a musician. Um, and sometimes we have to find a way to stay focused in spite of the distractions. Um, it's good to be able to get focused, get in a room, get in our place, wherever that may be, where we don't have distractions. Uh, but sometimes there just are distractions. And so what I struggle with right now, being that I'm newer to news scan and all like that, is how do I stay focused on it amid the distractions with other things like like as a musician. I mean, things happen in the middle of a moment when you're working on a piece, on a tune, whatever, and you know, I've been doing it for a long time, so I've learned how to maintain that focus. But how do you folks, y'all been doing this a little longer than me, how do y'all maintain your focus in the middle of the distraction?
Mark,
You
you,
know,
you, okay.
one thing is within this business, we have people that make 500 a month, and we have people that make $100,000 a month. And so it's like Lawrence says, what do you want? And so you first need to ascertain, well, where do I want to go with this? And if you decide to keep all your other distractions, then you need to balance that down to a level of income that's appropriate to that. If you say, no, this is critical, this is my number one thing, those other distractions will then be let go, at least to the level that helps you get where you want to be. And everybody falls somewhere within that spectrum.
Hmm.
I was gonna say, Mark, you have in your wallet your 7 points that you've had for 25 years. Stick to those. Those are things you
Hmm.
do well. The others
Hmm.
are distractions. Your ex-wife told you you carrying this thing around your wallet, 25 points. I mean, 7 points, and you've had them in your wallet. Those are focus on those. The rest are distract.
Hmm.
Anybody else
Yeah,
got
okay,
anything?
yeah. Focusing on the things helps the distractions become less, right? Yeah, it
Yes,
does.
yes.
Hmm.
Focus on the positive things that make you feel good. So that's where the endorphins come in. That's where your continuity will come if you're enjoying it, if you love it, if you're having a good time with the success. And if you're having a problem with a failure, look on find the positive side of the failure. What do you mean?
Mm,
Find
that's good.
the positive side of the failure that makes you feel good that you found why you failed and work on that. It'll make you feel good when you found the solution. Why did I fail with that? Because of this and that. Now you feel good because you found a solution.
I have to say that this is a very timely conversation. Thank you so much for bringing this topic up. And Mark, thank you for your comments as well. Um, we had quite a few things going on. Ron's mom moved in with her son. Um, as she was moving out of her mobile home, she was asking us to help her move the things out. She'd been living, so you can imagine all this stuff she had. Some of it's here for a quote unquote yard sale, but
Hmm.
it's really taken my focus away from trying to be out there and put the business first. And this is, focusing more on that. So this is a very timely conversation. Thank you so much. It just reinforces what I need to do. So thank you.
Thank you.
So,
Cash, you were going to say something?
Where focus goes, energy flows. Great call, Lawrence.
Oh,
There you go. Succinct to the point. Great. Thank you. Anybody else? By the way, your what you said at the beginning, Martin, John Swartz, I just see he's on the line. He actually has mastered this repeat it's the sequence of what you told of that guy. Got to sift and sort. What was his first thing?
Yeah, tell me quick. Tell me fast. Tell me slow. No, wait a minute. Tell me yes. Tell me no. Tell me quick. I gotta go.
That's John. That's John Schwartz's.
Yeah.
His theme tune,
Yes.
and he's mastered that. He's become very good at the sifting and sorting. Not the pain of maybe. Yes, no, or go. Bye bye.
Well, the problem with working with a maybe is you way over invest in your time and resources in it.
Because you've got your emotion in it.
Yes.
Think with your brain and not your heart. In anything you do that is in business, detach your emotion from your brain, from your logic. The logical is what will guide you correctly in the business. The emotion can can cloud your thinking. Oh, maybe he'll come. Maybe he'll be big. Maybe this will be that. Maybe
Yeah.
that's all conjecture. It's nothing. Don't go there. Okay. Anybody else? Thanks, guys, for being on. Appreciate it a lot. And by the way, August 27, 28, 29, get your tickets, go there. Listen to Cash's call on a Wednesday. I think it's a wonderful call. It's really, really good. It's educational, not only informative, it's actually educational. And of course, Monday we've got Scott's call as well. So we've got plenty of places of recourses and resources where we can go and learn stuff from. So thanks everybody for being on the call. Appreciate it. Blessings to everybody. Have a good weekend.
Thank you, Laura.
Thank you,
Thank you
Lawrence.
so
Great
much.
weekend.
Thanks so
Thank you.
much, Lawrence.